I ask for the truth on behalf of Wendy, Patrick, concerning that which is significant in her life right now, and I ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls from darkness into light. And we cut the deck for you there, Wendy, and the crow's magic tarot is now placed over here just to the side, and we'll deal out 3 cards for you, and let's just see what's going on, shall we? In a spread of 3, of course, we deal out card number 1. This represents the past, and then the next one represents the present, and then of course finally the next one, as you guessed, yes, represents the future. In this case, however, the past, present and future. The first card represents the recent past. This is a period of time between now and this time last month. Let's just pop them there a bit. We can just get at them. You could say, like I say, between now and this time last month, about a moon phase behind, whereas the immediate future here is about a moon phase ahead. So you could say that's about 3 or 4 weeks or so in between now and this time next month. And then, of course, Wendy Patrick there right in the middle at present. So let's see now. I suppose you could say establish the situation, couldn't you? What's been going on with you there, Wendy? Wendy's one of our YouTubers, and I noticed a request there in the notifications, and she just requested. So let's see what our YouTuber Wendy Patrick has been up to over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so. And notice here you've got Justice. Justice is a major arcana card. What's one of them? Well, the tarot is comprises of 2 decks, the major arcana and the minor arcana, or the lesser arcana. The major arcana is the first 22 major arcana cards. They're from 0 to the full to 21. The world, or the universe, as Crowley would call it. And this is one of them. A major arcana energy usually gives you no sort of, no choice, but it's more of a permanent thing. You've got no control, you can't change it. You've always got choices. And it indicates that you didn't really have much power to change anything over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so. Whereas minor arcana cards, they're like the elemental deck. The 56 minor arcana, you do have power to change anything there. We'll see what turns up, and we'll see if there's anything there that we can do there. But first of all, notice, of course, Justice there is the sword and scales. Crowley calls it, Aleister Crowley, the Aleister Crowley Thoth tarot, he refers to it as adjustment, or set in a balance. This is to do with equalise, to do with balance as well. And it seems as though maybe just recently you were clearing out the clutter, you had no option but to make certain adjustments in your life. Or even to it, in some way. Either maybe you were forced to through financial means or relationship means or career. Because you weren't specific in what you needed guidance on. Normally, I don't normally do readings for people who aren't specific about what they need guidance on. But of course, I don't mind, like I say, doing a general reading, which this is, isn't it? It just helps if you need guidance on something. We can use the interpretation of the cards to seek out that and use the meanings of them, as you would say, how they're interpreted to find an answer. But in this case, because there was no question, you might just end up getting an answer to a question you don't want to ask. That's just the gamble we take, isn't it, in life? And maybe that's what you've been doing just lately, gambling. And now you've got to make adjustments, and now things have had to change. You've had no choice. It's been change that's been forced upon you, really. And of course, a lot of the tarot have astrological links to them. This one's got, of course, Libra, naturally. That's linked to that, isn't it? Because Crow is king in this deck, Crow here, we've got the humanoid figure there with the crow, the crow's head, as you would say. Crow is a healer as well, isn't he? In nature, the carrion crow anyway, he cleans up the dead flesh, doesn't he? A bit like the garbage man of nature, a bit like the dustbin man of nature, that sort of thing. And that's how he does it. In terms for us, because he's a bird, the crow is a bird, of course. The bird people, they carry the messages from the heavens to the earth, and then they are thought to be the guides, carrying guidance. And Crow guides us from darkness into the light, and into the new dawn, as you would say. And it appears as though for you the darkest hour is, of course, before the dawn, and has been before the dawn. But what happened? What's happening now? Let's see what energy this is left behind. Is it a positive one, a negative one? Although actually sometimes negative energies can actually be a positive effect, because forewarned is forearmed, isn't it? We'll just flip this card nice and slow, as we did the other one, to just reveal here the Eight of Swords. Now this is a minor arcana card. And minor arcana cards give you power to change things. Right now you do have power to change things, given the fact that, yes, it's as if you are trapped, confined and imprisoned in some way right now. Crowley calls the Eight of Swords the Lord of Interference. And it's as if either something or somebody, it's usually somebody, isn't it, normally? It's usually somebody who is interfering, getting in the way, poking the nose in right now. And you have, of course, you have power to say no to them, don't you? You have power to see that this is your business. Keep your nose out. And this is what I got a funny feeling's been going on. And it's as much as maybe the justice. Sometimes the justice can represent legal. If sometimes, although I don't read tarot inverted. If it is inverted, it can sometimes be a sign of violence or like legal action being taken. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe legal action in some form has been taken, or you've experienced legality in some way, and it's interfering in what's going on now. Let's hope not. Let's hope that that's wrong. Let's just hope that it's more of a case of a general case of clearing out the clutter, of making certain adjustments in your life because of. And I got a funny feeling. Why do I get this funny feeling? I don't know. I'm sort of like sensing as though whoever it is who caused you to make these adjustments to bring about balance in your life, they are back again now, interfering in your life again. It's as if they won't go away. I don't know in what form this is, how this is manifest itself, but I certainly want to look at the next card now, and I want to see what the immediate future brings for the foreseeable future between now and this time next month, you could say, couldn't you? Between now and around about the 11th of May, or something like that. We'll just flip the card over nice and slow again, and notice there you've got another major arcana card. Judgment, number 20, whereas number 8 was Justice. You've got Judgment here. We'll just place this next to that. The sign there is Sagittarius. That's got a Sagittarian feel to it, doesn't it? As this is, of course, the eight of swords is a Gemini energy, isn't it? Maybe these energies mean something to you. Maybe those signs mean something to you. I don't know. But either way, if they do or not, notice here how Crow opens doors for you. It brings a sign of doors opening. Just those doors can close. This is, of course, meaning that you're able to, in some way, I suppose, transmute or evolve in some way, even. Metamorphose and change, a bit like going into a chrysalis and then waking up in springtime or whatever, or the summer or whatever it is, and becoming a new soul, as you would say. After of what's going on now, in the next moon phase between now and this time next month. In some traditional tarot decks, you have the Day of Judgment that's pictured there, and you have the angel Gabriel blowing the last trumpet, as you would say, and then you have some naked people and some people covered up, coming out of the graves. Now, of course, on the last day, for all are naked before the Lord, and of course, for those who are, I suppose, covered up, have something to hide, don't they? And those who, of course, are naked have got no shame. For them, it's revival, isn't it? Because they were wrongfully accused. But for those who are accused, they are revealed for what they are. They have to uncover, don't they? And maybe this is what's going to be for you. The door opening, and of course somebody, be that you, could be anybody, but it could be just somebody here who has got to go through that door. Notice the moon. The moon represents introspection, and the crow brings the sign where the moth flies toward the moon. Of course, that's a bit like you trying to tune into your true self and lock onto the true you, I suppose, in a way, or flying toward that part of you that you have to acknowledge before you go through that door, before you truly awaken. And this will be an awakening for you, because whatever's happened to you, whatever caused this problem where you had to make this major adjustment, because remember, it's a major arcana card, and these two major arcana cards point to two major events that are going on now. One has just recently taken place, and the next one is about to happen. And either way, you have no power to change, obviously, the recent past and the immediate future. You'll have no power to change it. But right now you do. You have power to change what's going on. Whoever it is interfering, you have power to get rid of them. It doesn't mean you don't have any choices in the next 3 or 4 weeks or so. It just means you won't have power to change it. It'll be more of a permanent thing. I suppose a bit like when somebody dies, you can't bring them back to life, but you can choose what to do on how you cope with it afterward. And it's a similar sort of thing, isn't it? Maybe you will have to, no doubt, awaken. Maybe this will be a rude awakening. Maybe a home truth. Or realising now that maybe it's time to finally grow up or mature or move on to the next spiritual level. Because remember, we have we have a twin destiny, don't we? We have a natural destiny and a supernatural destiny, and the cards lock onto the supernatural. And it's for you to allow spirit to communicate with you and guide you. Notice there the eagle helping you to listen to your higher self and follow your intuition. But as I've said before, for as much as doors open, it is up to you to choose to go through them. You can stay on this side and never take the plunge, as you would call it, or whatever you want to, however you want to refer to it as. But nevertheless, the introspection will be there. You will see a part of yourself that maybe you don't want to see. But nevertheless, in order to evolve, in order to mutate, you have to acknowledge the chrysalis that is growing around you. And then after that comes the sleep. And then what happens when you do awaken, when you've gone through the door? That is a story for another day. But for now, Wendy, Patrick, these cards have spoken.